Alright everybody, this week we're looking at Yoroi Mogura PQ's AC from Armored Core 4 Answer. That's going to be what we look at for our cosplay build this week. You might not recognize this one. You might not. It's a little bit less known. Pretty easily forgettable. Yoroi was in Armored Core for Answer in the arena, but also only in the mission where you face off against No Count and Big Barrel. His build fits his name pretty accurately, considering his name means, at least in kanji, it means armor mole, and the creature that he actually is named after, or the AC is named after, is a bug that you can actually get as a pet in Japan. They are kind of like an armored beetle type deal. His emblem, which I'll put up on the screen here, is actually a picture of a really nasty looking picture of. But anyhow, his AC is a heavily armored AC, but also still kind of maneuverable, being a reverse joint. Let's go ahead and get right down into it. On the head, we got the VE44A, the one that I used here. I was actually kind of glad to finally get to use this AC and have a reason, or this head and have a reason, because this head actually looks like a really good spitting image of PQ's original head. By the way, I'm going to call him PQ from now on. I'm not trying to butcher Yoroi Mogura too much. So PQ's head, VE44A, onto the body. For the core, I went with the VE40A, partly because this had a pretty decent generator output adjustment, along with the fact that it's kind of visually similar to the Tellus core from Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer, which basically makes it pretty accurate to him. And for the arms I went ahead and stuck with the VP46S, just because the rest of the build so far has been in the Arquebus VE and VP range. Actually, it's been in the VE range, but the VE option is a little bit overweight, so I went with the VP. And for the legs, he's got those beefy reverse joint legs, and I was actually excited again to get to use the spring chicken in a build. So here we go with spring chicken legs. Nice big fat boy spring chicken legs. God, I love these legs. Moving on to the booster, I went with the Alula. You have some pretty decent options here. You don't have to use any specific booster here, because this build wasn't really going to be fast anyway. You can actually make it over 300, but again, this build is meant to go up and down more quickly rather than side to side more quickly. So I went with the Alula, gave it some a little quick boost love, just to kind of help with its dodging ability. This was my personal choice. I almost actually ended up giving it the Gridwalker just to give it more upward thrust, but I also kind of figured with it being a spring chicken and being a reverse joint, it doesn't really need the upward thrust on the thrusters. I almost don't need to mention it, but for the FCS, we went with the P05 because of our weapon loadout. We are a mid-range AC this time again. Probably could have gone more long range, but with the way Armored Core 6 works out, it's just kind of better to maintain the mid-range. Our generator is a Hokushi, very popular generator, a little bit more difficult to use, but only because you have to actually kind of keep an eye on your energy usage and not allow yourself to drain it all the time. Make sure this thing recharges every now and then. And for the expansion, we went with the classic assault armor on the Armored Core 4 Answer build. Now for the weapons. On the right arm, we have the VE66 LRA, the laser rifle. I could have gone with the VE66 LRB, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and maintain the single barrel. It doesn't necessarily need to be a double barrel all of a sudden, even though this would increase his DPS even more. When using this in this build, you generally will usually just quick fire this gun, but you can occasionally throw in a charge shot. On the other hand, we have the linear rifle, the Harris, because originally he had a sniper rifle, and this is pretty much the closest thing to a sniper rifle this game has. And due to this thing having a charge shot as well, I almost suggest always firing this in a charge shot while using the other gun to maintain some DPS with its quick fire. On the back, went with the NGI 006, the Coral Missile Launcher, mainly because he had a Kojima missile. It was a vertical launch Kojima missile. Thing was a monster too. So's this. It's not a vertical launch monster, but this thing is a monster still, so it just made sense. And on his other backside, his other shoulder anyway, we got the vertical missile launcher. We could have gone with the bigger one, but honestly, we gotta keep, we're trying to maintain accuracy here, and his vertical missile launcher originally was a 6-cell launcher. This one's an 8-cell launcher. Rather than going with 12, we went with the closer to the original. Now that is Yoroi Mogura, PQ's AC again. Let's get into some arena fight, or into an arena fight, and also into some PvP.
Main system activating combat mode.
Target destroyed. Concluding analysis. Well done.
AP at 50%.
Alright, well, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and come back for more. I'll see you later.